Good day. So this message is for attorney Adema McKinney. I go by that stage name Hollywood Solo, and I was contacting you because I saw on a video chat that you're the attorney that's handling the Candy Burris and Todd Tucker situation. And as I began to look at your some of the services that you provide, then I became intrigued because I see that you do family law and entertainment law. And I felt like that would be a good opportunity for me to present to you some of the things that I've been going through in terms of a term called parental alienation that has been going on for over 20 plus years now. And the goal is to create a reality show television, because I don't think a lot of people are aware of that particular term and aware of some of the different variables that goes on in that particular situation. And again, like I said, I've been dealing with that situation for about 20 years now. I didn't take the time to prepare and formalize any definite dedicated message, so I figured I would just get on here and kind of spill my experience and talk from the cusp of my hip from what I've experienced. But so what I'm experiencing is the parental alienation for 20 plus years for children that have been taught to resent me because of my sexuality. I'm a gay black male. Children have been taught to resent me for my sexuality, and now because the sexuality and gay is not as restrictive or it's a little bit more accepted now than the tide has shifted or what have you. So we still, 20 years later, of course, we're no longer in a phase of parental alienation because the kids is grown. They monkey ass is grown now. But we still are struggling to build a relationship because of the author and the story that was written for us decades ago. And I felt like that would be a great reality show television, because there's still a lot of negative emotions that's attached to it. I am not I've finally again come to my terms of living my life according to my damn terms. I don't love nobody on this planet enough to be who the hell they want me to be. I love myself enough to be who the hell I am. And now my children are finally starting to recognize that. But I don't feel like it was ever a part of my sexuality or any of those things that denied me the right to be a right. It's a part of a fatal attraction. You were going to use my children as a manipulation tool to try to harness me and keep them captive. If I can't love you, then I won't have the opportunity to love those children. And then when it finally came to the conclusion that I finally began to love myself, and I don't love any of you enough to be who the hell you want me to be. I love me enough to be who the hell I am, and I live my life according to my terms. And them kids, to hell with you and them damn kids, is the conclusion that I've had to come to. Going back to this Candy situation, I was very happy because when I saw that, I was distracted by the fact that they were getting divorced, because I went to their play on my 57th birthday, and it was just the plot to the play was was good. The experience getting into the place was just very, very devastating for me. I think it took me like 3 or 4 hours on my birthday. So I showed up in a happy spirit. By the time I got my gas in that seat, I was pissed. I was totally pissed. But I was distracted because, at that particular event, Candy gave good kudos to Todd, and they seemed to be operating in a very collaborative effort. So I dismissed all those rumors about their getting divorced. Y'all don't know what the hell you're talking about, because I just saw them at the thing, and they were very, very in cahoots, and they were collaborating. And I thought that was good. But when it finally came out that she actually did file for divorce, and I was like, oh wow, I felt bad about the children, because I know that adults can probably process this particular situation, but children just are not going to be able to handle that. And so my thought was with the children. So I'm happy to see that they do have a attorney that practices in family law and probably is more likely to be aware of some of the different devastations that a child could have and keep them on point with that. But at any rate, it just kind of made me think about my situation and how I'd love to create a reality show television to depict what I've gone through and some of the things that I've, that I've experienced, and then bring my family, because I mean, they did, now they were trying to get me in hiding, but because I didn't hide and become recluse from the things that you were trying to expose, now you're in hiding. So it's funny how the shit turned. It's funny how but I feel like we have a really great reality show television type of concept to where the emotions are raw. It's serious. It's real. I mean, I've just to rehash on some of the things that has happened. Back in 2017, I went to visit my grandkids because I have kids, and I've been estranged from my family. Much like the KKK divided the family, I feel like it is a part of black people being Europeanized to do the same thing to their own family that the racist white people did to us years ago. But I went to go see my children in 2017, and again, forgive me because I'm just going off the cuff of my head. But I went to see my grandkids in 2017. During this visit, it was Easter 2017, and they had just lifted the COVID restrictions up. So a lot of the hotels were just beginning to, take reservations and everything like that, and everything was booked. So when I got to Jacksonville for Easter, it was the Easter weekend. I wanted to go spend some time with my grandma because I wasn't planning on even contacting my kids because I had, I was just going to. I contacted the baby mother to say, hey, I'm going to be in town. I want to see the grandkids and spend Easter Sunday with them and Easter with them and everything like that. But because I went down there 2017 and they had just lifted the COVID restrictions, then the hotels were booked, and I booked the hotel, but I couldn't check into the hotel until 12 o'clock that next day. At any rate, my son got wind that I was coming down to Jacksonville, and he wanted to have me bring the kids by his place, and then I'd pick them up a little bit later. Well, anyway, I ended up staying at his place. He was like, well, you can just stay here, this, that, and the other. So I said, well, I booked the hotel. I'm due to check in at 12. But, I just kind of engaged the environment to see, whether or not this was a peaceful environment. It seems to be peaceful and everything like that. So I said, well, I'll go ahead and cancel the reservation at the hotel, stay here with you and the grandkids. There was a party. Him and his uncle and his people were planning to have a gathering. So I told him, well, you go ahead and use my car. I'll stay here with the grandkids. Me and grandkids, sit around kicking and da 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 da. No, I'm not going over your motherfucking my in-laws' motherfucking house. I wouldn't give a damn how much Christian they is. No, I don't do them type of Christians at all. So he went, came back. We talked about it and everything like that. And I guess he felt like, I don't know, the energy had changed at any rate when he got back, and we were sitting around having a good discussion, this, that, and the other, and it got chaotic. I mean, to the point where, I was like, okay, well, if that's the way you feel, then I get the hell on, this, that, and the other. My son threatened to put a bullet in my head, burn my body, and bury me in the backyard with a gun laying by his foot. Just that intense or whatever. And so I'm like, wait a minute. This comes from a sense of pain, and I want to get to the bottom of it. And it really did get friction. I mean, he attempted to, attack me on several different occasions, and the daughter had to intervene to kind of, break us up or what have you. But it was hurtful. It was hurt. Nigga, you should have shot me because you crippled me. It paralyzed me for months, for 8-9 months. Now, I didn't know. Just the laws of retribution kind of kicked in very, very swiftly because 2 or 3 weeks later, he was reintroduced into the penitentiary system and locked up for 2 years. So the laws of retribution did come back to your monkey ass, and I need you to understand that every time you come against me, then God comes, he punishes you, type of deal. But anyway, there's a lot of, what my point is, that there's a lot of negative emotions. Me and my children still struggle for the efforts to build a connection. I don't have a relationship with them, and I'm okay with it. Because again, I am going to live my life according to my terms, and I am confident enough to live my life according to my terms. I don't love nobody on this planet the way I love nobody on this planet to be who they want me to be. I love myself finally enough to be who the fuck I am. And if you can't do it, then you can carry your ass on. And I wouldn't care if it was, a Jesus Christ in the Holy Spirit. If you can't come here and love me for who I am, then I can't be. You can't be in my presence, type of deal. That's where we are. And I've kind of come to that conclusion or whatever. But anyway, I felt like this would be a great reality show subject, because there are a lot of people that are going through this, and they don't even know the terms of what it is. I would like to share also that I'm a guardian. I'm a certified guardian ad litem in the Duval County, in Jacksonville, Florida. I went through the guardian ad litem program and became a certified guardian ad litem. So I'm very familiar with being a child advocate and kind of fighting for child's rights and things of that sort. So we have a whole story, a whole 20 years full of history that's still brewing. We're a little bit more, I wouldn't say cordial. Yeah, we still, the seed has been planted years ago, and we're still struggling to kind of repair that thing. The way I became familiar with the term of parental alienation was because of Alec Baldwin. In 2005, when I recognized that this was what was happening to me, then there was that was during the time that Alec Baldwin was going through some things with his family. And because Alec Baldwin and people like, the celebrities have the finances to be able to pay for that type of service, to find out that particular, they used a term called parental alienation. And so I didn't know what the hell no parental alienation was. So I Googled it. And it, it just really just opened up a whole plethora full of information. And it was like God had delivered this whole encyclopedia full of information to me. And so I downloaded the book, and I began to read the chapter after chapter after chapter. And it was as if God had given me the playbook to my enemy to say, this is what they're going to try. This is what they're going to try. Then read chapter 12, but this is what they're going to try. And then this is what these are the things, these are the phases that you'll go through that, for that parental alienation type of process. And had he not given me that book so that I could be, aware of what was coming down the pipeline, baby, it would have caught me off guard at every damn angle. Every damn angle. Now, this wasn't, I want to go back to what I was saying about this was not a fight for my sexuality or anything like that. This was a fatal attraction. This was nothing but a fatal attraction. My ex-wife knew about my gay tendencies and my homophobia, my homosexual intentions before I moved from Jacksonville. This had nothing to do with my sexuality. This had to do with a fatal attraction, a woman who didn't want to let go. And if you can't love me, you're not going to be able to love them kids. Well, finally, the key, I tried to love them kids, tried to love them kids. They're old enough now, to hell with you and them damn kids. And is what I had to come to conclusions, because you see what she's doing. And if you're on board with that, then the hell with that woman and them kids, and that's the conclusion that because I didn't have the resources. I did look to Attorney Levitt. He was an attorney out of Chicago, but hell, he wanted $30,000. I ain't got no damn $30,000, But so I did. Back then, that was the only law who practiced, the only attorney that I was familiar with, who was familiar with the terms of parental alienation, but I couldn't afford that bullshit, So anyway, I just figured that since I saw on that podcast some lady was, and she kind of mentioned your name, Adema McKinney. I want to say that I hope that I'm pronouncing it right, but I would love to speak with you, and kind of collaborate with. I have a studio. I have my own production studio. Actually, well, that's part of the journey of my mission, is that I'd like to do, kind of sketch comedy type events here in the city of Georgia. But I feel like the backstory of my journey would be a very, very thought-provoking, entertaining, as well as educational platform for others that are going through that same thing. And a lot of fathers are going through that exact same thing and have no damn clue. So at any rate, I'm reaching out to you, and I would love to hear from you back. Some of the times you create a video and it should just go up into the cyberspace, and hopefully I can, get some sort of feedback from you. But I'd love to be able to talk with you, especially since you're an entertainment attorney. Baby, reach out to me. I go by the stage name of Hollywood Solo, but my real name is Torrance Hassan Shabazz, and I'd love to be able to network with you. I'd love to be able to demonstrate and tell my story. My other family members are not as open to that particular idea, because they're in hiding now. They were trying to put me in hiding, and when my head didn't bow, and I feel like, if hopefully you can see from what my demeanor is, it doesn't change. This is me. And you see, I hadn't dressed up or anything like that, because again, I wanted to be just as close to reality as it possibly can. But I would think that you would be happy that I'm the gay. If I am the version of gay, you would want your father to be this type of gay, because you better be glad that I ain't, wearing no dress or trying to do gay porn or any of those negative things. You count your damn blessings, But I think that we have, and again, like I said, it has nothing to do with my sexuality. It was just a fatal attraction. If you can't love me, you won't love these kids. It was a fatal attraction. And so now what I have is a group of children that are trying to love me. But Ike loved Tina. He loved Tina. He would have loved that heifer to death had she let him. If she didn't recognize her value and separate from that bullshit, he would have loved her to death. You won't show up and love me no any damn way. You're going to show up and love me with some respect, with some guidance, with some appreciation. And I don't know that we'll ever be able to I don't know that they're even the type of people that can take accountability for their actions and then make modifications and then, change for that. I feel like, I'm going to end on this one. I feel like the only reason we still have racism is because white people refuse to take accountability, take acceptance for what they've done, apologize, and make modification for it. But black people, as a group of people and the caliber of people that we are, we're totally forgiving and willing to get past the racist, ethics of what you've done to us. But because you can't take in your spirit accountability and you want to try to hide it and everything like that, that's why racism still exists, because you're trying to be conniving and trying to make it seem like we never experienced anything and you never did anything wrong. And that is why we have to keep giving reminders. Well, I'm going through the exact same thing with the kids. The exact same thing with the kids. They're trying to wipe it away. Baby, I got your ass on. All my shit is videotaped. You don't have to listen to me. We can listen to you. I got it on all that 20 years. I got it documented. And thank God, God showed me to begin to record it, because they're going to wipe this shit away. They're going to try to make it seem like it never happened. It was you. You're delusional. And something's wrong with it. Okay? Free yourself from my evil motherfucking wrath then, nigga. And of course, we'll have to tone my voice, my profanity down. But at the same time, we're going through real life situations that are again entertaining, as well as educational. And I'd love to be able to network with you. And the name of the show or the concept that I have is Diary of a Deadbeat Dad, because I didn't have the the resources to be able to do that, and I wasn't always able to show in the capacity of what some of the, so then I didn't have the resources, but I did. I kept it moving. I was able to, accomplish some things. So at any rate, I will give my information and would love to hear back from you, yay or nay. I mean, this may not be your thing. You might have other shit, and you ain't got time for that. That's absolutely fine. But at any rate, I thought that this would be a great opportunity to reach out to someone who could possibly give legs to the vision and the concept that I have. Thanks. Peace.